Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. New toxic drug numbers have been released by Public Health Sudbury and districts.
Am I happy it's going down? Yes, but it's still way too high.
According to the experts, there's still a lot of work to be done. Plus, the cleanup continues following a historic storm.
We're moving a lot of snow. Like, we took 80 loads just out of here there.
One of the problems facing some is where to put it. An old man winter certainly wreaking havoc on air travelers.
We had all our equipment out. We had guys on overtime.
Two hard-hit airports say it's been all hands on deck ever since.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Still no word yet on what could have transpired following a heavy police presence in Iroquois Falls earlier today. In a social media post, provincial police asked the public to steer clear of police in the community because of an ongoing investigation. Just before 2 p.m., they said officers were still on scene, but the heavy presence had wrapped up. Meantime, provincial police say an incident in Larder Lake has resolved peacefully. Around 6 yesterday morning, police were called to a home over a warrant. According to the OPP, the person barricaded themselves inside, verbally threatening officers. The situation was resolved with the 79-year-old man surrendering to police. Sudbury police say they've arrested a 42-year-old man carrying nearly $3,500 in drugs in the downtown core. Officers seized what is believed to be cocaine, crystal methamphetamine, magic mushrooms, and fentanyl. According to the Greater Sudbury Police Service, they were conducting proactive patrols in the area and saw the man who was wanted for breaching a conditional sentence. New numbers have been released by Public Health Sudbury and districts when it comes to toxic drugs. CTV's Madison Marier has more.
The Community Drug Strategy released data from January to October of 2025, indicating a slight decrease in drug toxicity deaths.
Local data suggests that from January 2025 to October 2025, there have been 102 drug-related deaths. In comparison to the same period, so 2024, January to October, we saw 117 people that have died from a suspected drug poisoning.
Rezo Access Network said a decline in overdose deaths alone does not mean the crisis is improving. It highlights the urgent need to strengthen integrated responses in Northern Ontario, including harm reduction.
Healthcare is the #1 responsibility of a provincial government, and right now they are failing. They failed 102 people in the first 10 months of this year, and they fail, as I said, an average of 2 people every single week in our community.
We still have a long way to go. Substance use was increasing since around 2005, though not as quickly. Given it has been a concern for 20 years in the making now, this sadly may take quite some time to undo.
Some feel that one death is still too many, and Kayla Pellin said, mortality data tells us who is dying. It does not tell us how many are suffering, nor how preventable that suffering truly is.
The numbers are still way, way too high. Am I happy it's going down? Yes, but it's still way too high. We have at least 2 people every single week die in our community of preventable death.
I think it's important to recognize that each number does represent a human being.
Over the past 3 years, over 20,000 doses of naloxone were distributed over Manitoulin Island in Sudbury area to help lessen deaths that both government employees and frontline workers agree are preventable. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Last Monday, Timmins was hit with a winter storm that brought 60 centimeters of snow. A week later, the big dig continues for city work crews and snow removal services. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more.
On a social media page, the city of Timmins says Public Works removed 319 loads of snow from school zones in 4 different areas and cleared sidewalks. As the work continues, local school board officials made the decision to cancel school bus transportation. One school board points out on a social media platform that not all streets near schools can accommodate 2-lane traffic. Officials told CTV News late this afternoon that school buses will not run on Tuesday either. But the owners of Quality Contracting were excited to give us an update on how their business is going. They say their employees haven't stopped plowing and hauling snow from commercial and residential properties since Christmas.
It's been very challenging because a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, so it's definitely challenging to organize and even keep on top of anything of this scale. It's been crazy, but our staff has been amazing. Our commercial clients, our residential, like I can't even think how amazing they have been.
Just from one car dealership alone, dozens of dump trucks of snow have been removed.
We're moving a lot of snow. Like we took 80 loads just out of here there at Cheney Motors. We're going to the Travel Lodge next. We have a whole bunch of loads to take out from Tormont. We have a whole bunch of loads to take out from Côte Gold. We have a whole bunch of... We're not done. These trucks are running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And Quality Contracting is not worried about running out of room to dump the excess snow.
Well, thanks to the city, we got quite a few snow dumps around town. There's a LaFleur snow dump, there's a Spruce snow dump. Interpaving has a snow dump, luckily, so we've been going there. Mascioli as well. There's quite a few locations where we can bring it, luckily for us, and get it all cleared up.
City of Timmins says residents who need to remove snow from their properties can use the Spruce snow dump free of charge when using a half-ton truck and trailer only. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Provincial police have begun winter lake patrols and held a weekend blitz to remind the public to stay safe on frozen water. OPP say they conducted almost 1,000 checks, including more than 300 ice shacks in conjunction with the MNR over a 4-day period. They issued 81 warnings, 8 provincial offense notices, and arrested 1 drunk driver. The winter storm that blew through the north last week led to a 4-day disruption at the Sault Ste. Marie Airport. CTV's Angela Campbell reports.
Operations are just now getting back to normal at the Sault Ste. Marie Airport after Old Man Winter wreaked havoc on holiday travel plans.
We had all our equipment out. We had guys on overtime, working almost around the clock. So it wasn't for a lack of effort, I can tell you that.
The CEO for the airport says high winds prevented crews from spraying the usual liquid chemical to de-ice runways and aircrafts. Because Sault is too corrosive, a combination of sand and sweepers were used to clear the ice. But the delay meant about 50 flights over 4 days were cancelled, impacting an estimated 500 passengers. Out of the 4 airports in the Northeast, Boss says the Sault was hit hardest.
We were getting it way worse than everybody almost every day last week. So I think our location, obviously close to the water, the winds come off there, the lake affects snow. My counterpart sent me the weather updates where Sudbury, Timmins, and North Bay all had 20 kilometers visibility and we had 200 meters.
60 centimeters of snow blanketed Timmins last week. The manager of the Timmins airport says keeping one runway open was a priority, which meant just 1 day of flights were impacted. But he adds they didn't see the same level of ice or wind as the Sault.
We have equivalent number of people and equipment, and we all keep going. And through the stats, they're still working through Christmas and Boxing Day and right into that storm and through New Year's Day. So all my crews did a really good job to keep things open. I've been here 16 years, and the locals here tell me they haven't seen anything like this in 50 years.
The reps for both airports say they're still cleaning up. But the challenge now is finding space to put not just the snow from last week's storm, but any more that falls this winter. Angela Campbell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Sault Ste. Marie fire officials are warning the public to make sure vents are cleared of snow and that there are working carbon monoxide detectors in your home. The warning comes after a CO alarm went off at a residential building on Wellington Street East, where crews had to evacuate the property. 1 person was sent to hospital. Crews discovered snow blocking exterior vents of the structure. Carbon monoxide detectors are required by law in Ontario as of January 1st for all single-dwelling homes with fuel-burning appliances, fireplaces, or attached garages. Every floor of the home is required to have one, and if there are bedrooms, the detectors must be adjacent to the sleeping areas. There are also mandatory in apartment buildings, condos, and retirement homes. A detector must be installed in each suite, heated from a fuel-burning appliance, and in common areas including hallways and on each floor of the building. Job seekers in Ontario are going to have more information about the position they are applying for thanks to new laws that came into effect New Year's Day. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
Leanne Maley, the CEO of Yes Employment Services, says new laws in effect to increase transparency about available jobs is a welcome sign.
It's a goodwill thing, and it's a good relationship building with your future employee.
The laws now make it mandatory for publicly posted jobs to include the expected salary or compensation range. According to the province, the range must not exceed $50,000. Maley says pay transparency will increase competition in the marketplace.
It's only fair. People need to know whether this is a wage they can live off of.
Employers are exempt from disclosing the amount if the expected salary is equivalent to or more than $200,000 a year. Employers are also going to be prohibited from requiring what's called Canadian experience in the job posting, meant to create objectivity around what the job actually requires.
Yes, you can ask employers not to require Canadian work experience, but how are you going to keep them from filtering out those candidates after the applications come in?
And how will these new laws be enforced?
The Employment Standards Act is very clear that there's officers that either can do spot checks or there can be complaints. There's no fines set yet for this, but the fines can be very high.
A company must now also disclose whether artificial intelligence is used during the application vetting process.
As in any automated system, bias can be embedded in those systems. As much as AI can make your life easier, are you making sure that it doesn't screen out great candidates?
Other laws in effect include job postings should say whether they're for a current vacancy. If a candidate is interviewed, employers are required to inform them within 45 days after the interview.
This is brand new ground, and I think we're all learning a lot every day.
Only companies that employ more than 25 people are required to follow the new job posting rules. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the weather warnings, and we don't have any in our region, but the reason I wanted to show this is if you are heading south, particularly towards Toronto, that is what you're going to want to be careful of. The area in gray is a statement about freezing rain, upwards of 5 millimeters possible. Yellow is a freezing rain warning. And let's move over to current conditions. That's how it looks right now. We've got freezing drizzle in Sault Ste. Marie, freezing fog in Sudbury, and more drizzle in North Bay. We'll have more coming up in just a moment.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Welcome to a new week of weather and some conditions. It'll warm up, and of course we'll also get some mixed precipitation. Forecast radar as issued by Environment Canada. Here's a system just to the south of Sudbury and east to Gore Bay right now. Some snow mixed in with rain as well. We'll get into some details just a couple of days away as the temperature warms up, but big change from last week. How about that 7-day scoreboard? Sudbury Nickel Belt, we've got chance of light snow tomorrow at -2. More of the same with flurry activity Wednesday, +1 on Thursday with the cloud cover. Friday, chance of sleet, showers or flurries, and 0. Then the cool down once again, -4 Saturday. Sunday, some sun and cloud, and -9. Even the evenings will be colder, -3 by next Monday. How about Algoma and Sault Ste. Marie? Light snow, a chance tomorrow at 60%, 0. Another 0 day on Wednesday, chance of flurries. Thursday, some sun and cloud at 3 degrees. Who would have thought? Friday, chance of sleet, 2 degrees there. And Saturday, we've got the chance of flurries at -3 on the reverse cool down. Sunday, we've got sun and cloud and -6. So your temperatures up, down, and all over the place in terms of the conditions as well. Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing, light snow tomorrow at -3, -6 Wednesday. Thursday, here we go, 0 and sunshine. Friday, chance of flurries, -4, -8 Saturday, chance of flurries, and Sunday, sun and cloud, getting colder at -12 degrees. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of light snow tomorrow at -2, -3 Wednesday, chance of flurries. 0 Thursday, sun and cloud, chance of sleet Friday, chance of flurries Saturday. Your temperature 0, then cooling down to -4, -10 Sunday with some sun and cloud, and that should be your normal for this time of the year at -10 degrees. We'll wrap things up with a look now at North Bay and West Nipissing. Chance of light snow tomorrow at 60%, -2. -1 on Wednesday, chance of flurries. Cloud cover Thursday at 2 degrees. 2 degrees as well on Friday, chance of sleet. Chance of flurries -1. Saturday and Sunday, we've got cloud cover and -8 degrees. Again, your normal for this time of the year. Ian, people have been saying, when is the warm weather or warmer weather coming to the Northeast? We've got it for at least a couple of days up until about Thursday, Friday. Then the change, it'll get colder. Back to you.
That's what I like, at least the warm part. Thanks, Rick. Well, Doug Ford addressed the media today for the first time this year, and the Premier says he plans to go ahead with punishing a popular liquor maker for moving some production to the U.S. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
This is what I think about Crown Royal.
A stunt to grab attention and maybe change minds. Trying to prevent the shutdown of a Diageo facility bottling Crown Royal in Amherstburg, about 30 kilometers south of Windsor. Months later, the Premier promising to pull Crown Royal off the shelves of the LCBO for good in a matter of weeks.
As soon as they close that plant, so you better stock up there, buddy.
The shutdown set for the end of February, a disruptor for 200 families. Dozens of workers have already moved on.
That's all they've known for most of their lives is working at Diageo, like their families. So it's heartbreaking.
The union president would have liked Ontario to take Crown out of circulation sooner, even though it's still being mashed, distilled, and aged in Quebec and Manitoba.
It's all a bunch of BS. It's all going to Alabama, mark my words.
Pointing to a paused Diageo distillery planned for southern Ontario.
If you have your number one customer spending hundreds of millions of dollars, why would you try to hurt that customer?
Doug Ford has put on ice a threat to stop the sale of all Diageo products, something Dagnolo says would have hit harder.
You take Bailey's off the shelf at Christmas, I told him it's their number one selling product.
The future of the bottling facility and its workers up in the air, listed for sale last month, with an appeal to American distillers.
You want to sell your bourbon here, here's an opportunity where you can bottle it here.
It's been a common refrain in Doug Ford's political life.
Anything you ever need, feel free to reach out, 647.
Giving out his personal cell number while at work. A 3-judge panel says records from that personal phone related to government business must be made public.
When he is deliberately using his personal cell phone for government business, that's a serious problem for government accountability and transparency, and we're glad that the court agreed with us.
Ford intends to appeal, citing the privacy of those who reach out to him.
Do you want your personal records about your health care and your family and everything else going public? There has to be confidentiality.
We were very clear to the court that we're not looking for those kinds of phone calls.
Opposition parties accuse the Premier of trying to hide by continuing this fight in court.
No one influences Doug Ford, I can assure you that.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The Near North District School Board has a new Director of Education. Jay McJanet is taking over the Beleaguer School Board. He was most recently the Superintendent of Education with the Trillium Lakelands District School Board. McJanet assumes the leadership role at Near North after the Minister of Education, Paul Calandra, stepped in. The province says a ministry review confirmed deep-rooted dysfunction and mismanagement at the board that eroded confidence. Fundraising efforts are underway for food banks in our region as food insecurity grows. In Sudbury, the inner city home is doing its part to raise money. CTV's Elena Everson reports.
I just want to win. Board members with the inner city home of Sudbury are on hand at a local grocery store, selling the Knights of Columbus cash calendar.
You can win $50 every day of the year. Not necessarily you, but you got a chance to win that. And at the end of the month, there's larger prizes. It could be $200, $500, and on December 31st, I believe the price is $1,000.
The proceeds from the cash calendar will help the food bank operate in 2026 by raising $60,000.
The arrangement we have now, that for every cash dollar we receive, we can triple our buying power. So $60,000 times 3 gives us an opportunity to feed an awful lot of people.
Officials at the Inner City Food Bank located on Elm Street with another one in New Sudbury say they are seeing a spike in all ages needing food and other basic needs items.
You go shopping for yourself, what do you buy, right? You buy, hand cream, and you buy toothpaste and a toothbrush. People are so pinched financially that they need those things, and so we are able to supply some of them.
Babcock says there are more people with no fixed address needing food assistance and help with other basic needs.
We do serve individuals who are homeless as well, and our percentage of individuals spiked considerably from 4% to 14% back in the fall.
The Inner City Home of Sudbury also has another big fundraiser coming up, January 15th at the Caruso Club. Tickets are still available for the Taste of Sudbury event, featuring many local food vendors and restaurants. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News. A medal-winning performance for Team Canada at the World Juniors. More on that in a moment. After being eliminated from the gold medal match when they fell to Czechia last night, Canada captured the bronze tonight at the World Junior Hockey Championship.
McKenna centers it. Here's Hayes with the backhand shot, ripping it down, rebound, score!
Sam O'Reilly scoring twice, and Gavin McKenna had a goal and 3 assists. The Canadians were already up 5-3 over Finland when they added another goal late in the third. They hold on to win 6-3. The medal is Canada's first at the World Juniors in 3 years. Czechia faced off against Sweden for the gold medal, where just a short time ago, Sweden came out on top of the gold medal winners of 4-2. Longtime Ontario Hockey League Commissioner David Branch has passed away at the age of 77. The New Brunswick native spent 45 years heading up the Ontario Hockey League from 1979 until his retirement in 2024. Branch helped shape major junior hockey in Canada, working to enhance player development and education opportunities. His introduction of the OHL scholarship program ensured players coming through the league would have access to post-secondary education. His legacy has been commemorated with awards that now bear his name, and his contributions to Canadian hockey were formally recognized in 2016 when he received the Order of Hockey in Canada. Meantime, no hockey action tonight. A quiet night on the ice except for 2 of Sudbury's top scorers who are heading south after a major trade deal announced this morning. Nathan Villeneuve and Sudbury's Alex Ferrand have moved to the Windsor Spitfires in a deal that includes 8 draft picks and forward Jean-Christophe Lemieux. The deal comes just days before the deadline. The North Bay Battalion were also making moves today. They picked up Sebastien Gervais and Hayden Barch from the Saginaw Spirit in exchange for 5 draft picks. Both players were part of the Memorial Cup winning Spirit team last season. A gymnastics club that has served Sudbury athletes for 4 decades is folding its mats for the last time. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
It was a really hard decision.
Since the 1980s, Sudbury Sault Gymnastics saw athletes of all ages and backgrounds train side by side. But after 40 years, the club's former president says the pandemic's toll became too much to bear.
I know other parents had been there much longer than me, and they had done so much work fundraising. To just have it all end, it was very sad to see.
The club was hit hard by a 2-year pandemic shutdown, eventually losing its facility. It's a struggle felt across the city. The Sudbury Laurels, run in conjunction with Gym Zone, says the gap in training during COVID-19 created a massive hurdle in keeping qualified staff.
I think for many youth sport organizations, it's been difficult to train staff with that year. Like, there's that usual turnover that we see, but it was nearly impossible to train staff because it takes months, years to get to a certain level. So it's been hard to replenish those, key people or like those more senior roles, but we're getting there now.
Chamberlain says the remaining funds from Sudbury Salto have been donated to the Sudbury Laurels and Extreme North, the 2 not-for-profit gymnastics clubs left in the North.
We're doing a lot more competitions this year. We're doing actually 7 competitions, and it's a lot of money goes into having the coaches, their accommodations and food and travel. So that's a big expense.
Invest in some key equipment pieces as well to continue innovating their training environment and enhancing that. So yeah, that it's a safe, amazing training space.
Salto's equipment has also been distributed to local clubs to ensure the spirit of the club lives on in the next generation of athletes. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Such a positive ending. Glad to see gymnastics will live on. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.